if a subordinate has a problem with CEO, how do you take that up? Or someone who is below has a problem with someone who is above. How do you take that up um, in a way that you do end up winning?
Sometimes you don't. And the win is that you still have a job. But again, same if you go back through the triangle and you say CEO, employee, they need to be wildly more productive. But it's like, do they need to, or does the person in that job need to? So sometimes I'm going to fire them, put somebody else there.
Right.
But what you're saying is employee to CEO. Often the answer is nothing. You should do nothing. Other times it is, okay, you need to say something for whatever reason because they're still a Christian brother or whatever. But when employees want to go to authority figures because the authority figure needs to be somewhere else, I've seen that go wrong often because I've seen that employee completely misunderstand their own place. They misunderstand who they are.
Mm-hmm.
They misunderstand everything about it. So when that employee is going to CEO, when that employee is going to ownership, it's like,
right.
They often think like an owner. They think they're the true ownership. They think they're the true shareholder because they run Saturday shifts and they love those Saturday shifts and the owner is ruining it, And so they want to go advocate for some small thing to ownership. They don't understand the owners, they're a hireling and the owner has a much different relationship to the whole thing than they do. So they often, employees misread completely who they are in the story.
Right.
When they want to go up the chain of authority, they misread who that person is, they misread who they are, and they just struggle to see the whole picture. So sometimes they see it honestly and they need to be able to know where they need the boss to get to, and they look at the available means of persuasion and how could they possibly help them see it. And if there's no way that they could help them see it, then why are you trying to help them see it? Like, what's the point? So what are the stakes? If this person doesn't move to where they ought to be, what happens? What are the consequences? Why does this matter so much? Like, what are the stakes? And is it worth you jeopardizing your job? Like, creating conflict for what exactly? So employees doing it, I've not seen many do it right. I'm sure some have, but I've seen plenty do it wrong.
Yeah. But you do it because you want you are for the company's best interests.
Ideally.
Right.
But what's the company? What is the company in this hypothetical?
I'm not going to name names, but you have, explain the question.
I mean, make one up. Like, what is it? So if you have an employee and they're going to the person who owns the company.
Yeah, let's say Bob from Bob's Ice Cream thinks that the direction his company needs to go is they're going to start selling ice cream out of the back of a truck only in winters. And his employee says, look, I don't think this is going to be best for the company because people don't want as much ice cream in winter as they want in summer.
Yeah.
You come, and then he goes to Bob and he says, Bob, I think the best way to have this company succeed is if we don't sell it in winter, we sell it in summer. But that keeps them in their place. They're not making orders, but they are giving advice.
So the fact is, if you have an employee of Bob and that employee is saying, I think this is a mistake, that's all they need to do. Say, hey, FYI, I want to put this on your radar. I think this is a mistake. I don't think this is great. But they're not playing with any of their own money.
Right.
The employee has no skin in the game.
Other than his job.
Bob does, right?
Right?
So Bob is incentivized to have his company succeed. If you see something that you think Bob's missing, that's not a fraught conversation.
Right.
That shouldn't be a big conflict. It's just like, hey, boss, just want to put this on your radar. It's your company. Do what you want to do. But I want to put this on your radar. I don't think we should do this. I think this will be bad for the company. We should only sell in August. We should skip February. I mean, there's no conflict there. You just let them know.
Right.
This is what I see. Whatever you want's great. It's your company.
Yeah.
That's not it's not a big deal. It's not a big conflict. What ends up happening is when the person who has run the truck for so long starts to emotionally feel that they're an owner.
Right.
And
Yep.
they've been the hireling and they feel like an owner even though they're not. And then they get mad at Bob for changing the logo or whatever. That kind of conflict is frequent.
Right.
And that's what I meant by saying employees lose track of who they are and they misread their own place in the story. They start to believe themselves to be a powerful shareholder when they are getting paid $12 an hour, down at the bottom of the food chain.